Welcome to Mick and the Psychic, where we leave no stone unturned as we explore all things outside the apparent physical realm.
There is no intent to teach or make you believe or disbelieve anything. It is just a safe space to listen and explore with us.
So for this next episode, you have permission to open your heart and mind as you join myself and Xavier on this deep dive into the unknown. Okay, so this is a very timely podcast because we have Salwa Abboud on, and today, as this is released, is going to be the New Year, the Chinese New Year. And so we're going to be talking about a lot of things about that and what Salwa does. So I might just jump into a bit of an introduction. Salwa Abboud started the Ministry of Feng Shui and Four Pillars of Destiny as there was a need for well-informed and knowledgeable consultants that understand pure Feng Shui, not intentional, intuitive, or New Age, and for consultants that are able to read and analyze a birth chart in depth. Salwa consults, trains, and designs to basic Feng Shui principles. Salwa says writing the certificate in Feng Shui and Four Pillars of Destiny was my vision to have students study and become well-informed in the right way. Her learning came from many, but it took a while to realize what was classical and what was made up to sell so-called remedies. Salwa also educates through free workshops all over Victoria and also is with us today on the podcast. Welcome, Salwa.
Thank you. And I'm a master.
Yes, Master Salwa.
Master Salwa. Can we get, is that like a...
Is it like doctor?
Is it a title that we can give you?
Title that was given to me by six, I can say Asian, because they're all over in Asia. Six Asian masters looked at my work, assessed it. Wow. It was a process that you had to put everything from your own knowledge, and
So it is like it's peer reviewed, I guess.
Yes.
So you have to.
No pressure.
You have to have people say yes, that like she's a master, she actually knows what she's talking
you don't
about.
have to say it. Everyone kind of knows, but yeah, everyone in my world knows. Yeah.
Oh, so we've got Master
Salwa. The red carpet.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Red carpet's out.
Totally
Red carpet's out. From now on, everything is truth, and you can take it as canon. Love it. Excellent. Okay, so you've got. Did you want to just talk a little bit about what you actually do with Feng Shui, because it would help me.
Good. All right. So with Feng Shui, it's I say to people, it's like having a computer, which is your home, and so we call that like form school. So your home needs to be protected, and the best way or word to put into that is like you're sitting in an armchair, your back is protected, your arms are comfortable, and you've got space to put a little poof for your legs to rest your feet, that kind of thing. So that's called form school, and that's the home. And that represents the animals, of course, turtle, dragon, tiger, phoenix. But what really then you have to do is you have to go into the home, and your home, when the roof was put on, heaven met earth. It's like when you took your first breath, heaven met earth. That's your destiny. The home has its own destiny. And when I go into a home, I can tell you, like, the home becomes the software for that computer to work.
Okay.
And so you can't work a home without the software. You can't work a computer without the software. So I can tell you where you argue. I can tell you where your legal problems are. I can tell you where your affairs are. I can tell you where, frustration, anger, agitation. It's all in your home. Everything you go through in life is in your home. It's whether you activate it, drain it, weaken it when it's a bad negative energy, or you support it. So that's how the software works. If you think of it that way, every home has 3 luck, every home has 3 money. So we ground your luck. So even if you make $100, that $100 goes a long way. Everyone knows someone like that. But if you don't ground it, you can make $1 million, but you don't even have enough for a coffee.
Yeah.
goes out the window.
That's correct.
Because that money is in the wrong part of the house.
Correct.
Or it's being drained accidentally because maybe it's in the bathroom.
Correct.
Right.
It's in a wet area, etc.
Could it be also that, like, because some people, without judgment of these people, because they haven't grown up in, when I say environment, I don't mean the actual house, but around people that have taught them what to do with money. Perhaps they just don't actually know how money works and what to do with it. I mean, you look at people that win the lottery and they're broke the next day. It's the same reason why people that are very wealthy.
There's a reason for that, is that the lottery they would have won because they were probably, it was their time. Everybody has their time.
Okay.
It's whether you buy a lottery ticket when it's your time.
Okay. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So that's the luck bit. It's not the numbers. The luck was, did you buy it?
Not the numbers at all. It's your own destiny. But if they lose it the next day, they're sleeping in a bad energy. It does not, they can't hold it.
So there's a theory that if all the money that's out there, the top, 0.05% of the 1% of the people own all of the money. If they shared all of that money out, it would only take, say, a year or two until it equals out. The people with a lot of money end up with a lot of money again, and the poor end up poor again, because they don't understand how money works and the system works.
Actually, that's also what we're going through at the moment is doing.
Right.
Good.
Yes. So
bring it on.
The energy is, we're bringing on that equilibrium, so that because of what the year is, that water is now like this, but it is going to turn into a tsunami and clean the slate.
Wow. Okay. So this is, and I'm coming back to that because that is what everyone wants to hear.
I
already know about it, this people.
Yeah, he's got 10 things going on at once.
Yeah,
I know.
That was a friend of mine.
Put the pen down.
I've had my house Feng Shui. This is my second house. We've moved and we've had a Feng Shui, and the personal chart's all done. The kids are all done. So I understand a lot of this. So that's why Michael's asking most of the questions.
Yeah, ask him.
He doesn't know.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
This is good. I just explaining.
and I think it's more for people either like me or have only a low level understanding of Feng Shui. What you're talking about here is separate from people's own education on fiscal systems and money and being able to. Okay, so this is like a separate thing. Now you talk about the house as being. So I'm a carpenter joiner by trade.
Yes.
So I kind of feel like God because I've put roofs on houses before. So thank you for giving me the gold. Thank you for giving me the God complex. No, but you talk about the house as in it being. It's nearly like you're giving it its own entity, like that it's a.
It has
entities
a thing as well.
So entities within it. But do you see the house as being like an entity and how you set it up?
How you set your home up is it. So with the reason I got accredited as the first international, that not international, but first in Australia. I wrote the cert forms. I became a registered training organisation to deliver it. But the reason I did that is because a lot of people will go on the internet or get a $20 book from a bookshop and then go, oh, I've just put Mandarin Ducks in my love corner.
I painted my door red.
Right. Or I painted my door red.
Mandarin Ducks in my love corner.
Yeah.
I know that one.
It's somebody actually made it up in the 80s and they've got a lot to answer for. Yeah. So, people then think I've got 2 Mandarin Ducks. I should be getting it every night and
Okay.
But Mandarin Ducks have nothing to do with Chinese, as Feng Shui is Chinese. It's Japanese, and it's a samurai old wives' tale of love.
And that's so funny. I thought you were talking about the color, but you're talking Mandarin, not Mandarin.
In the ducks, yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
And as Xavier said, that the red door.
Yeah, I've heard about the red door.
You could actually be feeding a negative energy by painting that door red.
So,
my wife hates the color red, so we're good.
Oh, okay. So if she hates the color red, then fire is not a favorable element for her.
Okay, right, gotcha.
So you became a carpenter Wood is favorable for you. You're even wearing wood.
Yeah.
And his chart, so you can tell him a little bit about
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you've got your home, which takes care of you when your destiny is rotten, when you're having bad luck.
Yeah.
So, like the past 2 years, people that are people that are fire made the money the past 2 years, and the people that are earth made the money in the past 2 years.
Okay. So these are those four that there were four, were there? Characteristics? Five. So is that like the earth, fire, water, wind?
Not
So
wind, earth,
no?
it's earth, fire, wood, water, metal.
I was
Wood,
about to say,
water,
we're a
metal.
Captain Planet for those of us my age. Earth,
But they're the elements, all right? You know, come on. I'm not going Captain Planet.
yeah, it's a cartoon in my childhood. Anyway,
I know it.
you know it. Awesome.
There are people over the age of 35 knowing exactly what we're talking about, and those under 35 going, I'm lost. What? They're still looking at the Mandarin coloured ducks. So I'm getting a bit already. I'm getting a bit of a picture, which is kind of exciting for me. That with how you set up your house, and look, anyone who believes in Feng Shui or not will know that if you're in, like, say, a messy house, it's really hard to have clear thoughts and that sort of thing. So there's really practical things with how you set up your house as to how it affects your mood.
Yeah.
If you've got stuff and furniture in it that you don't really like for whatever reason, you might not understand it, that feels a bit cluttered and funky as well. You're talking crazy level though.
Crazy level that actually works. So you walked into a home and it's felt amazing.
Yes.
That's the Feng Shui. Everything is balanced. But you can walk into a home and it feels crap.
Yes.
That's the Feng Shui.
Even when it's beautiful and clean.
And no matter how beautiful it is, we feel energies no matter what, you know.
Yeah.
And the clutter and all of that, it's actually not a Feng Shui thing. Someone made it in the 80s, but you know what? It sells books.
Yeah.
Because you had to clean and organize your house. It's got
Like,
nothing to do with Feng
because
Shui.
in Chinese, the cleanliness, as they say, is next to godliness. But how many of us are sitting there after we've cleaned our house waiting for God to visit?
None. But you wish God came earlier to help you clean up a little bit.
That would be
Well,
nice.
you'll find wherever clutter is, that's a negative energy.
Send the
anyway.
cleaning angels.
That's interesting.
Poof.
That is so interesting. Like, so where that clutter is, there is
A
negative energy there. Chicken or the egg? Like, did the clutter bring the negative energy, or did the negative energy encourage the clutter?
The negative energy brought the clutter.
Gotcha.
Because you haven't remedied, and so you don't know what to do with it.
Correct.
And it's like, you know, when you do washing and the washing keeps piling up. That's actually a luck energy that is creating the mountain to take care of you. But you're not sitting there, you're putting your washing, so it gets higher.
Oh, so that's why some people have their pile of washing on the couch instead of all the
They
bed.
should be sitting there or sleeping
so wherever
there.
you're drawn to dump your crap, that's where you should be sitting.
Correct.
That's hilarious.
The laundry.
Well,
No,
some
they
people
put it
have
on their
lost it in the
couch.
laundry,
Or they put it on their bed instead, and it piles up, and then they finally start folding it.
See, I just see that as people being lazy.
Yeah.
I love it too. But they should be, if they knew it was their luck
I was going
area.
to say something else, but I didn't.
Say it, whatever you want.
Hey, this is an open podcast.
No, cool.
Please.
I'm a lady.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I don't even know where to start. I started writing
It's
notes.
like we're going all over the place already. I need to
Oh my
But
gosh,
you
this is
had to,
amazing though.
because we had to go all over the place, because when you're asking me something, it doesn't go direct.
It's
It's
not-
relevant.
Yeah, I
No,
have
it's all
to give
relevant.
you examples. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the house. I love that. That is a beautiful metaphor with the roof going on, the heavens meeting the earth.
Yeah.
So that's when the
Destiny.
house,
Yeah.
the home starts. Is it? Is that like when it turns from a building site into a home? It's basically at lockup.
Well, when you've moved in, you've put your energy and given it energy, and then it starts. And so for some people, for instance, we're coming up to 2024. And that is where most homes are going to go down or go high or rise, as in the people in them. So every 20 years, the energy changes and a number loses its power and another comes in with its power.
Okay.
And that's what we do. We have to, we come out with a compass, take a reading. No, you can't do it through Google. You can't do it through your phone. You need a real magnetic compass. And we don't have just south, north, east, west.
Yeah,
it's got 3 sectors.
Yeah.
So it's south 1, south 2, south 3. Every direction has, whether it's cardinal or inner cardinal, it has 3. And that where it sits, where the house sits on that degree of 1, 2, or 3, tells us how to fly the numbers. And those numbers actually fly. This is like 6,000 years old, but those numbers fly the same way the DNA helix does.
Yes.
Which was only discovered in 52 by a molecular biologist.
Wow. So for those podcast listeners, you're talking the shape of the infinity symbol,
yeah.
but in a 3D,
in a
3D.
More than it's infinity.
You invert it.
Ways. Yeah.
It's
leaning one way, that way. And that basically that's how it shows you how China had 400 years of a dynasty.
Yes.
And it wasn't until they stopped, and they stopped because in the last dynasty, the Ming dynasty, the person that was running that was buried outside of the mountain. So the Ming people, clan, whatever you want to call them, could not come back to rule.
So that was deliberate.
That was deliberate by the Manchurians. And so what ended up happening here is like everybody grabs a book or goes on to Dr. Google, etc. And what they find is what's called the Bagua.
Okay.
So that Bagua is the 9 squares and it has a number in each, and they set up their home to that. What they don't realize is that is for the house of the dead, not the house of the living.
Jeepers. Okay. So that's for Tutankhamun, but not for you to live in.
You're in the house of the living. You need that flow.
Okay.
Yes. So when I say the house of the living, it's like you're in the Garden of Eden. You don't know you have to breathe. You don't know you have to eat. You don't know you have to clothe. Whereas here, you know you have to eat, clothe, breathe.
Gotcha.
The house of the living. Different stories.
Right.
And that's your yin and yang. Yeah.
Okay. So within that house, I want to go back to like some people with the change of the year going into 24. Some people going up, some people going down. We're not talking about like put an extra story on the house and put your bedroom upstairs. What do you mean? What do you mean by some people going up, some people going down?
Okay, so what ends up happening is there's a lot of people that in their home they're in, they've done very, very well. But a lot of people that if I've come out to consult you, I don't flower anything. I just bang, 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 bang. You've paid me for this. I'm giving you
the truth.
The whole thing.
Yes.
So if your house is going to run out in 2024, I will tell you. Now, a lot of people have a little bit of an issue with that, but I don't. The issue is that someone else is going to buy this house and have the bad luck.
Okay.
So she's saying you need to move out.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it.
Oh, so you can't fix it. So what you're saying is in 2024, this place is not going to be good for you and your family.
Correct.
Lots of
And so they've got to sell it before 2024, February 4, 2024.
I need to set you up with Mark Kenny, who's a guy I know that's he's a buyer's advocate, and because that'll be great, because then you can just handball them onto him, and then he can do some shopping around and find some houses with your consultation. He's going to do great out of this.
Actually, no, that'd be beautiful, because a producer also has asked me to, because I wanted to do a show called Feng Shui Australia. And that was exactly 12 years ago. Yeah. And the ABC, the little email we sent the ABC, they said, not today, basically. No, not today. Yeah, like that.
How ironic that their symbol is that symbol that you're talking about.
My goodness.
That's funny. I didn't notice that before.
Just saying. So, kind of. No, that's the metaverse one.
Yeah, exactly. So 12 years later, because all the animals have had a turn, I've come back to it, but now I have a producer that wants to do it.
All the animals have had a turn. You're saying that there's 12 animals in a cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because everyone else will go, what? Don't call people going for a show an animal.
Yeah, so your life will change no matter what every 12 years.
Okay, so the Mayans had, which is a completely different culture again.
Yes.
And the Olmecs, which were before them, obviously, they had their own calendars and things, and they always talked about cycles and life cycles and mini cycles and bigger cycles within that. So 12,600 years and all of that sort of stuff. Does that relate to the kind of numerology that you're talking about from this?
It's solar astrology.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yes.
For instance, that's why we've got Friday is the new year, new month.
Yes.
It's not the first. It's always in a week in or a few days in that the energy changes.
So will the energy change? Like this is coming, we've recorded this the night before, or the afternoon before. So this is coming out tomorrow, which is
tomorrow you
today.
Wake up.
Today you have woken up. Yeah. And what?
Time does it change?
What's different?
52 a.m. So you will wake up and you are going to be gung-ho.
You have woken up and you are gung-ho.
You will wake up on Friday.
Which is today.
And we'll be gung-ho.
Wow.
We release this podcast 8 minutes after the year changes. There you go.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah. So gung-ho meaning everything that mattered the day before no longer matters.
Wow.
Everything where you were is no longer, because what the new year brings in is change. If you don't make the change, it will slap you in the face and do it for you, which means not in a good way.
So that means people who are unaware of Feng Shui have no idea what the freak you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not in their lives. They'll get more of a slap in their face unless they maybe
already
somehow
thinking about
thinking
it.
and they get out what they want to change.
Yeah.
But others will get a big slap in the face of like forced change. Is that what you mean?
Correct. Like a pipe.
So they might get fired, or they feel like dumping their boyfriend.
They just do it. And they correct. And they have no idea why this is actually happening. That's why I say it's the most amazing day.
Awesome.
It will be the most amazing day.
So there's a lot of turmoil in that too then.
Oh, we're going to have in 2022, which starts on Friday when you wake up.
Yep.
We're going to have warriors and heroes.
Yeah.
And for me, when I was putting the calendar together, I could not wait I can't wait for one of these days that I know are going to be one of those days. I can't wait. It's like, I want to know what's going to happen.
And that's also how much you trust this, because you know how true it is and how accurate. Like I've been going to Salwa's yearly talks. She's at the start of the year and she's doing them at the moment. Yearly meetings, talks about, what do you call them?
What the year brings. Workshops.
And she's always been spot on. She knew, and it's not intuitive.
No, I don't do intuition. That's you guys.
That's me. It's just like factual to Salwa, the way she explains it. And she knows, like she knew about the fight.
Based on the system.
Coming a few years ago.
It's not just the system. Every year brings like 2 calligraphies. So those 2 calligraphies are like yang water and a tiger. So for Xavier, you already know what the year is for you.
Yes.
Because you came to
the year is actually for me, because I'm water, I'm yin water. And the year for me is more people like me.
It's party.
It's like, so water, because it's a year, water year, it's water tiger, isn't it? So it's a water year. And so it's about people, everyone else who's water, it's more about socializing and parties and people like me, which is
correct. Because you are water, the
bosses, your family.
Everybody.
Yes, it's a very social, personal year for me, for water people.
And then the wood.
Now you're testing me, I don't know. Oh, wood is my expression, my JK Rowling time. Is that right? Yes, I'm learning. Yeah. That's expression. Yeah.
So all of a sudden the stage shows up and you get to shine on that stage.
So I might show off a bit on the podcast and YouTube's.
Oh,
Yeah.
more than, it's like everyone has their 15-minute, but yours is the whole year.
Awesome. That's a
Oh,
great.
wow. I'm going to take a back seat in this podcast for over the
Everyone
next
wants to
year
know
then.
if they're water now. This is yin or yang water. So maybe you could explain the difference between yin and
Well,
yang.
Great.
one
Yep.
is one is more introvert, one is more extrovert. Yang is just full on, whereas yin may contemplate more, you know,
Which is
that
weird.
depending on what the element is.
And do we
feel
have
like-
both? Do we have both?
You can have both. You can be, for instance, you're missing, like when I was talking before and you said you worked with wood, you could
Yes.
be missing wood, and that's how you complete yourself by
Okay.
becoming.
Now we're sort of talking about the personal chart a little bit.
Yeah,
Can I hold this up so
Yeah.
you can show?
So
This is
that's-
what your chart looks like when Salwa does your personal.
that's
back to
just the
front.
2-minute thing.
Yeah, this is like a
Okay.
little one. This is
So
your,
I'm looking here. So I'll explain it for
Everyone's
those
seeing
that are
yours.
just listening on podcast.
Yeah.
So, it's mine. Excellent.
Yes, we're
So
sharing all your private stuff.
that's fine. So there's a little diagram which has
Yeah.
got ticks and things next to it that shows obviously the
Ah.
importance of each one. It looks
Oh,
like
look,
metal,
it's got no-
water, wood.
Got no water.
It's got no
and
water,
what do you use,
And I'm
Xavier?
water. This is why we work well together.
Okay.
Complete. You
And
know,
the other-
Eddie Maguire, not Eddie Maguire, what's that? With Tom Cruise, what was that movie?
You complete me, Jerry
You
Maguire.
complete me,
Eddie
Jerry
Maguire,
Maguire.
Jerry
Oh,
Maguire.
no.
Eddie Maguire, I
mean-
love that. I wish Eddie Maguire was
Had
in
me
that
blown.
movie. That would have been such
Yeah.
a good movie. Yeah,
Better- So-
particularly with the show me the money bit. Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
great.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
so there's
yeah,
another table next to it, which I can see there, which has got those two symbols that you're talking about under hour, day,
Yeah,
month,
so-
and year.
So the day is who you are, not the year.
Oh yeah, everyone thinks the year you were
Everyone
born is
thinks
the
it's
animal
the
you are.
year.
It's not.
That's 5% of your ancestry, your DNA, your lineage.
Yes.
Wow.
The
So the
day
day
you're
is important.
born, yeah, so you are an earth snake.
I've been called that a lot.
No, it's really good to be a snake.
Been called that a lot.
To be this way.
Think what a snake does. They shed and they
Yes.
move on.
Ah, yes. I'm good at moving on.
Elementally, yes. So, but there goes the shine.
Xavier's just lost half her drink.
What did that make? Okay.
So the earth that you are, which is the day that you are, that's what you are there. That's the earth.
Okay.
So fire is what nourishes you.
Right.
The
Money.
the metal is your talents and skills. So
Okay.
last year was metal and earth.
Yes.
So it's you, people like you got to meet more people, talk to more people, and you opened your mouth. So that was your shine, shine, shine.
Right.
Okay.
Does that make
So,
sense?
so now we're in, for you, because you are earth, the
Yes.
water is on top.
Okay.
So that's ka-chink, ka-chink, ka-chink.
Is that money?
Yeah.
For you, oh, you're lucky. So for me,
And-
it's people, and for you, it's money.
Yes.
Awesome.
Cash.
So,
Yeah.
and then the wood is the power element. So
Right.
you come into a position you might actually have, and that brings the money. Now, because the water is on top, water by nature should not be on top elementally. It flows down. So this money will go into your power.
Okay.
Which
When
could
I
mean-
say power is your job, your status,
Purpose.
what is the authority of this whole thing. But so for most people who are thinking, oh, what about me? What about me?
Yeah.
You go back to 2010.
Hmm.
That was the wood part of what this year is when it starts. And the water is 2012. So you've got 2 years that you bring together for this year, and that tells you what it is.
So think about, try to remember what happened for you in 2010 and
Yeah.
2012.
Yes,
And that's an indication of what this year is going to be like
both those.
for you together.
I love this because this is a really good explanation as to why you can't go to Google or just get an idea about something when
No,
it comes to things
no.
like Feng Shui, because
Yeah.
it will come across as being, oh wow, this is like, gee, there's a lot involved, so it's very convoluted. That's because
No,
it
it's
probably
really
is,
simple.
and
Yeah.
you have to understand it so that
Right.
then you can explain it, and it's going to be tailored to each person very differently, obviously.
Yeah.
So
No
one
two
thing
people
doesn't.
are the same.
Yeah, gotcha.
No
Okay.
two homes are the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is why it's really important that if you want to do real Feng Shui, maybe don't just go, oh, hey, I looked on the internet and my couch shouldn't be this close to my window. Or actually get someone in to say, oh, and go through this stuff. And they go, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that's true.
For example, I wanted, like, we moved into this house, it's a rental. So we had to find out what year the roof was put on.
Yes, because we need that. Yes.
Because she does it when she flies the number. How do I know?
When I fly the numbers, I need to know the age of
when
when
the
heaven
house.
met earth.
Yeah, so I had to like try to find out
which part of the roof though, because the roof frame would be up before the roof tiles.
Yeah, when does it
Doesn't
count?
matter.
When the tiles are all last tiles on or something? Or?
When they moved in. So when did they move into this house? It gives you
not
a
when
year.
it was completed, exactly.
But it's always around.
All right, doesn't
It'll be close. It'll be in the same year.
So then I wanted to have the front room when you first walk in the house as my work, like for clients. So they're not walking right through the house.
Sure.
But then she did the Feng Shui and she's like, no, you cannot have that in this room because it's not good for it. There's a portal for entities and stuff in here. And over
portal
there.
for entities in here.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other thing. And then so this little corner we're sitting right now, because of the way it's diagonally, I can't show you, but it's like diagonal from the front door, part of my bedroom going in. This little corner is where I can have the computer.
Yeah.
So this is where we're sitting right now because this is great energy, which happens to be at my front door and part of the bedroom.
So it brings it all to her.
Yes.
So even if you're in trouble for a month, as in energy wise, or the year or a day, you come back home and your home takes care of you. That's how it's meant to be.
So I feel replenished and nurtured. It's got a great energy when you walk in. I did need, because it's money at the front door. So there's a mirror has been placed. So sometimes the mirrors are good in Feng Shui at the front door because it's
drawing the money in.
Yes.
So you really have to understand what you're doing before you put some of this stuff in place, because what you think could be good might do the absolute opposite.
Yeah. So if you had an energy of bankruptcy at the front door,
and I put a mirror,
that's what she's doubling and bringing in is bankruptcy.
And then the people don't know, they just put a mirror where they want a mirror.
They do.
Of course.
And they have no idea about Feng Shui, and then they don't realize, and then the stuff shit just starts hitting the fan and their life just turns like chaotic.
My beautiful wife will be cringing listening to this because she's a very, very talented interior designer.
Oh.
So telling her where stuff needs to go is challenging, but it's interesting because the way she does things in places, a lot of it will be around how the room, how the environment feels and how the space is, rather than that should go there.
She would naturally.
So she might naturally do stuff that's good, but she won't know all the rules. But she'll be looking at things. She's always talked about with houses where if the front door opens up and you can look out to the back garden and there's things like if there's a wall right there, or there's different feelings.
Yeah, it's a misconception. Someone made it up in the 80s.
Awesome. This is great to hear.
They were on smoking in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, they were on good stuff.
The 80s just stuffed everything up for Feng Shui, it sounds like.
I'll give you an indication. My youngest did interior design. So my conception of interior design is you throw a cushion here and you put a rug here.
Styling. That's styling.
Yeah,
but
that.
Yeah.
But he had to build a 3-level apartment, furnish it.
Yeah.
He had to do a cafe. He had to do a park. He had to do a healing center.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, like they actually draw it from scratch. And
that's right.
I didn't know that about interior designers.
Yeah.
And so because he was at home, we were locked up in 2020, and he was at home doing his Zoom class. And Feng Shui was part of to choose.
Wow.
So
that's funny.
Everybody else did Feng Shui. When it was his turn, he says, I'm not including Feng Shui in mine, because he knew. But I didn't think that was why. So I thought, he's not doing it because his mum's a Feng Shui master. So I go like this and I do the finger.
Yeah.
And I did it to the whole class.
Wonderful.
So he goes, because it's wrong. You tell us what we've got to do. So
he knew. So he didn't want to do it because it was
he couldn't say to them that oh, what you've just done is wrong.
He could have just educated them all, got you on.
He knew enough to know that he doesn't know.
So
And that's a very powerful thing when you know enough
It was a
to know.
compliment to you.
I know,
not
but
Yeah.
I went and stuck the finger up.
I love it.
I was on the Zoom thing. Yeah.
How
Not
appropriate.
passionate at all. No.
And what energy did that bring to the Zoom? No, forget that. Okay, so
You know, I don't know my birthday. So
How
really, I
ironic.
can't even decide what's coming or going. So I just live. And I know when something
that's
negative
beautiful.
happens, it'll be over in 2 hours.
Okay.
And I
Is it?
move
Yeah.
on. So I started this to find my birthday, but no.
Wow.
I keep saying I channel that for her, and then I keep forgetting. So thanks for the reminder.
One day.
I will channel
Woo, woo.
when her birthday was, so she can
Nice.
know when she's born. I
That
can-
is so amazing.
should do that.
Yeah. So I'm the oldest of 8. So 6 of us don't know.
Yes.
And the 2 that were born in Australia do know. So
And which country were you born?
in Syria.
In Syria. Okay. Yeah.
But I can look at my children's chart and see what's happening to their mum if I really wanted to know.
With working with people because there's plenty of people like say from South Sudan where their birthday is the 1st of January. You know, they don't even know what.
I just pick
Some
a
people
date.
don't even know what age they are, particularly if you
No.
grow up in a village where
Very
you don't
true.
celebrate birthdays. So it's like, I guess I'm 18. All right. So with those people, are you still able to do Feng Shui with them?
Sure.
No, I can do their house,
Mm.
Yes.
not a problem. But I can't do their,
Can't do their birth chart.
no.
So you
So
might-
I can't tell them about their children,
Yep.
them and their house of spouse. Your house
Yep.
of spouse actually supports you.
Right.
With your wife.
Because in
House of spouse. Is that what I can call her now? That's like ace of base. It's like, yeah, this is my house of
I don't know what
spouse.
element she is. I can't
Oh,
comment.
the 80s kids. are
So if you look at that, you are
I'm gonna go and say fire.
yeah, fire. So the
No,
fire supports the earth.
It might be.
This is what you grew up in, as in family, parents,
Right.
and that's
Yep.
your ancestors.
Wow.
And then you go through the years, the month, every day is different. So for instance, I'll let you send this to him. This is a calendar.
present.
This is a calendar. So let me just say, this is the calendar. So if you look at the front of the calendar for 2022,
Yes. Year of the water tiger.
yes. So the tiger, what does a tiger do? He saves his family. He saves his cubs.
Or she.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So the whole theme of this year is about saving the cubs.
Saving the children.
So when this came
Wow.
along back in August, and I said to my IT girl that does this, Angela, I said, this is what it's about. And she found Gustav Dor's painting
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is
about
beautiful.
saving the
You
children.
have to look it up if you're listening on the podcast.
And that's it. So through this, it'll have good days, bad days on a world scale. But for you in particular, it now has your worst days, which is the blue color.
Oh, wow. So you've highlighted, so you're showing me now, it's literally like a calendar you would hang up on the wall.
Yeah,
And
you've
there's
got to
colors, color coded on each day. You've literally gone through and worked out what each day is like.
Yes.
Is this a potential of it's going to be a good day or bad day? Or it's like, this is a bad
No,
day, stay
the
home.
blue is do not dive, don't do anything.
Just stay in bed day. But what if you like, because I was just saying this to Daniel, because we've got ours calendar and she's done
Yeah.
it for both of us. We've got 4 colors
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
on the chart, so we know.
So you're
who's-
good and you're bad.
Yeah, so
Right.
Michael's good and and so Daniel was like, but now I've got he's got his animal. This is going to confuse people. The animal he needs for life
Yes.
tattooed on him. So he's like, doesn't that just cancel out now my bad
No,
days?
no.
He won't be
It
happy with
helps
that.
you.
It
So
helps. Okay.
the reason he had to have a tattoo is in his chart, there are animals that are always making life hard. So what we do is we calm one of those animals with its friend.
Okay.
So people will have a tattoo or they'll wear a charm
Necklace, yeah.
of whatever the animal they need. Or as I used to do to my children, I used to draw it on their undie tag. So whatever they needed.
Which we'll be
cool.
doing for all of our kids. 'cause-
calligraphy wise.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like you can do.
You've
can
got
draw
to
the
make life
animal.
easy. That's
Yeah.
how, you've got to look at that.
So these animals, this is the same for 12 animals and they represent different things for different people or they represent the same thing?
No, different things to different people. So
Right.
you're the earth element and you sit on fire, which is a snake. and
Right.
fire is your resources. So
Okay.
you have a million, like you're just sitting there calm, collected, but you have a million things going on at the moment.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
You sit
Yeah.
on, it's feeding you, feeding you, feeding you, feeding
Yeah.
you. So it's whether you pay attention. So you might have a million things and you then choose 10 of those and you move to 10. Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that. So everybody is different. Whereas Xavier, you have your water. So water is, put it this way, when you look at a dam wall, water found a way, even if it's a little hole to get through.
Yes.
So water always finds a way.
Yeah.
Round, over, under, finds a way. And water, you know, you see them as nice and smooth, that lake and that ocean, but no one knows what's down there.
Yeah.
So water people elementally, there's a thing called Akashic records.
Mm-hmm.
They hold the past, present, and future if they tap into it.
Funny.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So
I
she's a
always
psychic.
say it's to water.
Yeah.
She's chosen the right, because I don't see
suits me.
water
Mm.
that actually lives their path. Very rare, I
Wow.
should say.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay.
Very rare.
Okay, so there is, what you're talking about is like opportunity, like
Yeah.
anything for people, and it's up to them, or it's up to a lot of different things, I'm sure, whether they live into that. So it's
Correct.
okay.
So when the year starts, Friday, when you wake up, there's actually going to be, in every single home, there's going to be a portal. And that portal is where entities come through. So you have to really then measure the center of your home.
Yeah, it's a center. That's right.
People are going to be freaking out here, Salwa,
Yes,
because
they
now there's going to
are,
be people
but there's
walking
a
around the house
remedy
going,
there.
where's the freaking portal? It better
Yeah.
not be on the toilet because I need to take
Well,
a
that's
dump.
probably not, because it's the
No,
center of your home.
It's
so
the
you're
center
pretty good.
this year. So
Yeah.
some
So you
people,
can't accidentally take a dump in the portal and it ends
Well,
up
you
somewhere else.
might.
it doesn't matter if it's actually a
Your dog
toilet,
might.
but it's a good thing if it's
Why
a
would you-
toilet because it flushes away.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Center of my home's like right in front of my fridge in the middle of the kitchen. It's a bit of an annoying spot that everyone walks through
Yeah.
all the time.
So the
So-
portal is the center.
It's the
This year.
center of the world.
as
Oh,
well.
okay.
And
This
every
year.
home as well.
Every
Yeah.
home, every business, every suburb, every state, every country, the whole world, the center is a portal, which means it's difficulty, obstacles, destruction, and bankruptcy.
So
Okay.
if you don't remedy it,
So you got to Google Maps. Okay, what suburb am I
Know where
in?
that
And then
is.
look at the center of that
Well,
suburb,
center
The
of the-
center of the world is,
the crust.
it depends
No,
how
like,
you measure it.
there's
The
a-
Earth isn't flat. We're not having a flat Earth
I know.
conversation,
No,
are we? Because this is
no.
going to get
doesn't
weird.
mean where Gaia lives. She means like which country
Yeah.
is in the center.
Oh, I
of
can
it.
tell you the countries that are going to be in trouble this year because,
Yes.
you know, the horizontal and vertical lines, longitude and latitude lines throughout the, so on this side we had last year is the ox. It's
Okay.
still till February 4, it's still the ox. So
Okay.
the ox was, if you look at Australia, it is Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria. So we suffered until February 4.
Yeah.
And
How nice
then
is that? We get a
when the
break.
tiger comes in, it's on the second lines. And this is Russia, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, and all of west of Australia.
Oh no! Everyone's been talking about this because WA's locked their borders and they've managed to keep
okay.
things out. And now with the pandemic, it's like everyone's like, "Oh, are they ready if it goes across?" So
Now
you're
it's
saying that there's
outside
a
of Australia.
potential.
So now it's
swapping.
we're swapping.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Mm,
center of Australia is where the lost is going to happen,
The lost.
as in the void.
void of what?
The
of
entities. Like you're talking about before. She
Entities,
calls it a void.
downloads. Yeah, it's called a void, like nothing can survive there type of thing.
The center.
But that center is also where, you know, like if you go to the center and you're going to paint, you will paint, you will be
Or-
possessed by something that will paint Van Gogh or whatever like that.
So it can be positive.
Can be a positive, can be a negative, but you can't, you're not you. It's like
You've been taken over.
attachments.
So it's not
Possession,
healthy.
I call it
because-
possession.
Yeah. So it's not a healthy, you might channel some interesting stuff.
So
but
Yeah.
Not,
It's literally what it sounds like. you're talking about entities coming in as
Yes,
a portal,
Put a portal.
from other dimensions or
Yes.
existences
And it's
into ours.
Yes, and it's in every home this year.
You need
Wow,
to
okay.
So the
to battle the
remedy
bad
for
guys.
that is
Can we-
normally the remedy for that normally is the tingling. It's bells. So you have 6 bells and you tingle
I
it.
should have brought some bells.
But
Your
because
cats have bells.
we can't buy bells today because no one's got metal apparently. So
True.
what we use is salt water. We just put the Himalayan salt in water. Nothing big.
You know.
Bigger is not better. Seal it and put it in the center. Now, if your center is a hallway, of course, then there's a great remedy because the macrame pot plant holders are back. So
Right.
you just hang one of those fake
From the
pot
roof.
and put it in from
So
the
how
ceiling.
is that? How is a macrame pot, water and salt?
Well, because you've got to put it in the center and you can't put it.
Yeah, but how, like if salt water, how is a macrame representing salt
No
water?
one's going to look at you like you've lost the plot because you've got salt water hanging.
This is just a blend in with normal human beings, Xavier.
Yeah.
It's not about So could you have it under the
Like,
house?
but how is it salt water? Like how is it
No,
the same
it's just
thing?
to camouflage it and it's
But it
already
works.
there.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you
Can you
put
have
the
it
salt
under?
water in the pot.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
What
I
do you
get-
do?
I was like, what do you mean macrame is the same salt?
Catch up,
You can
Xavier.
hang it in the,
Catch up, X.
you can just go jingle the bells there
Or
every
you
day.
can jingle the bells there
And
every
you have
day.
to do it once a day.
Jingling the bells cleanses the air. So the entities don't like that tingling. And the salt water is in, not just in Feng Shui, salt water is in every nationality, is a cleanser.
So if somebody doesn't want their house done for whatever reason, I think, after listening to this, everyone's going to be calling you and want their house done properly.
God, I'm going to be looking for my portal.
I do have a lot of, people don't actually call me
Okay.
because I move a lot of people out of their rooms.
Oh, mate, my last house, we had to move out of our master bedroom into one of the kids' rooms, and the boys all share. We have 6 kids, for those who don't know.
Brady Bunch.
3 boys, 3 girls. And that it was a small house, but the 3 boys got our room with the ensuite because of Feng Shui, because that was not a good energy for women. I would have gone crazy or something.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
had to move out of that
Broken.
room.
She would have become broken.
And when we changed that layout, everyone started getting along better. We started doing better in everything. It was amazing. And the energy totally shifted in the house. And that's why we got it done again when we moved here.
Yeah.
And now we've designed our house and built it. There's no way I'm doing it without Salwa.
Can I say, Salwa, though, that's
Yeah.
very normal in any kind of, say, with any kind of therapy or any kind of healing or helping thing, is it gets worse before it gets better. And so even with the hypnotherapy that I do, when people come to see me, it's much harder for them than it is for me because they have to meet some of this stuff that's causing the issue and they have to try and heal from it. It's not nice, but
True.
it's definitely worth it. Does that make sense?
Come to you because they're ready.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's in their destiny.
Sure. Yeah. I think so too. In anything. So the people that are coming to you need to come to you anyway. I wonder. Like I've got a Dyson air purifier. I'm hoping that does the same thing, but it wasn't in the instructions. It wasn't in the instructions. But okay, there's a couple of things like with the center of a house. This is one of the things. One of the issues I have. Not issues I have. One of the things I don't understand about numerology is that, with numbers and the number system and even the cycles we talk about have been made up for the ease of counting, not for any kind of, mystical reason. Doesn't mean they can't be mystical and, we've got to come up with something somehow. But with the center of a house, what happens when you have an extension on the back of the house? That's moved the center of the house. Has that moved the portal?
Good question.
Great question. So when you put an extension, did you put that extension in the same 20 years or different 20 years?
Okay, so when I've done it before, most of the houses that we do renovations on are already 140 years old.
Okay.
So it's definitely different.
That renovation has its own center.
Okay, yep.
And now you have
You
2
treat it as a
centers.
separate house. Okay.
Yep. Well, there is a different, I find, so we're renting at the moment, but I'm in a 140 something year old cottage at the moment.
Yeah.
And the front, even though it's kind of flows, the front definitely feels And I don't know why, and I've got no explanation, but definitely feels different to the
Yeah.
other.
So
So
the
you're saying
age
it's got
of
its own.
it has its own.
Oh, so you've got two centers
You've got
to
two
measure out.
centers.
So we've got two portals.
Which then means you have two portals, yes, but you have now 6 luck and 6 money.
Because you've got
Because
two holes.
each one different age has 3 and 3. So
So if she came to Feng Shui your house and the space you're in now, she could tell you, you might need to move. This is what people don't like getting their house on too, because then they get told you need to sleep in a different room or you need to face your desk a different way.
but
Because
they, once they go Feng Shui, they know, okay,
you
24 hours, the
It takes
energy
24 hours and
changes.
it's
So
completely.
once you go Feng Shui, you don't go back, is what you're trying
That's
to say.
right.
I was
Yeah,
going to say
yeah.
something else, but I didn't.
What would you possibly say?
I was
Something
gonna
about a
compare-
colour.
I don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean.
That's
Shade,
all right,
I mean,
let's
not a
keep
colour,
that.
shade.
It's like that, yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I want to go back to the center of the house thing because so somebody could measure, like, or do they measure or can they walk it out?
They can walk it out.
For is it like from wall to wall and walk it out to find the exact, and the center isn't very big, is it? It's like only like.
It's like you're just standing there and you do a turn.
Yeah, that's how
big
big.
the
So it's a
center
very
is.
small space. So you've got to
Okay.
get it spot on if you're going to jingle the bells
Okay.
or,
Yeah.
and it's got to be 7 bells.
So it's about 400 mil diameter,
This big.
If that-
385 mil
For
diameter.
those that
600. That big? 600 mil. 600
Yeah.
mil diameter. 6 to 7.
your hands out from your shoulders and spin. That's how
Yeah,
big it is.
that's it.
It's for the
Okay.
people listening, not
Yeah.
seeing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so, and there was another one. So that's for destruction.
That's for
everything.
the center where all the destruction. That's why most of the world is going into bankruptcy this year, because they
It's the
all
center
have
of
a
every
portal.
suburb, you said,
Every
every state.
state,
So if
every
you work out
country.
on a map where the center is and then see what happens, you'll get enough proof yourself over the year. Of,
Yeah, that
But states change as well, yeah? Like
Yeah,
state
it
boundaries
actually
change,
happened.
countries.
it happened
Yeah.
2013 when we had a financial crisis. That was the
Okay.
last portal in the center.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah,
imagine that shit's going to happen again.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's being analyzed by.
Things keep coming back. Is that why fashion trends come back?
Yes, they do. And
I
then
was
if
joking,
you,
that's serious.
no, it's true.
Cool.
Macrame hanging pots are back.
So if you get anything out of this, macrame's back, baby.
Stirrup pants are coming back, and
Oh
I'm
my God.
mortified. I can't believe stirrup pants coming back. Is that
Oh,
a cycle?
yeah.
'Cause how old was I then? Is that a 90? Is it
I'm
90?
not wearing it. I'm
This
done.
is that destruction
okay.
portal. Definitely the destruction portal.
Stirrup pants. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So the other thing is what people have to look at is, especially if it's like your front door or your bedroom or a lounge area where you hang out, the energy there is what we call ill health this year in the southwest. So for those of you that can't get directions, you've got a compass on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
accurate
Yeah.
to
So
figure it out.
that's
If you
it,
want it
yeah.
done, because the southwest, like you said, will have like 3 sections even. Like
Yeah.
you
So
to
you
get it done
just-
properly, make sure you're spot on. I would get Salwa or someone
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
she does properly. Otherwise, you can do your compass yourself and make sure you can remedy
Yeah.
it
So in
yourself.
the southwest, you can just put 6 coins. You know, they don't have to be the Chinese coins,
Mm.
right? If you understand the Chinese coins, it's a square and then a circle. That's earth and heaven. So heaven is superior to earth. That's the yin and yang. That's why they
Gotcha.
use those. But for us, you can have 5-cent coins, 10-cent coins, but 6 of them. You can stack them, line them up wherever your southwest is.
Put them in the corner, no one even notices.
What does it, so
What
How
that
does it-
is ill health, infertility, not just infertility of carrying a child, but anything you try will not work.
gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah. What that symbolizes. Gotcha.
Especially if it's
Starting
your
a
front door.
business.
Yeah, especially if it's your front door. It affects everyone in the house. That's the mouth of chi, is that front door.
Mm.
Yeah. And the other direction is the northeast, because an animal sits in a direction every year. The northeast is where the tiger will be sitting for 2022. And if you sit facing the northeast, it's kind of like you're saying to that energy, it's called the Grand Duke. It's called Taisu. So that tiger, you're like looking at him and saying, come at me or bring it on.
And that's not a good idea.
And that's losses and injury. But what you then have to do is A lot of you would have seen it is a dragon turtle. It's a dragon head turtle body, $2 shop. I don't think you can buy them anymore either, but you'll have to go online for them. Dragon turtle, and you face it towards that direction, inside or in the garden facing that. And then you can face that direction if you're sitting facing that.
And it's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How are these physical things like putting, you know, not magic coins, they're just coins.
No.
How is it putting, and the stuff from the $2 shop hasn't been blessed by a Buddhist monk hanging upside down in a river somewhere. How are these physical things help with such a complex
massive
spiritual
I'll
issue?
explain it elementally. So the negative energy is actually earth.
Right.
We're using metal to remedy it.
The coins.
Okay.
We're draining it.
Yeah.
So it's the
that's
metal
like-
from the coins.
Yes.
It's
They
not-
have to be
So
metal.
it can't be plastic coins.
Yeah,
Not-
okay. No, that's important.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the elements of those things.
Yes.
And the
do
symbolism.
house with the same elements that we use for you as well.
Like the salt water, it represents what element?
It's a water element, so it actually traps that negative earth and the water drowns it.
So the salt traps it, the water drowns it.
We
Okay.
do things
So
to
that's
it
why you
to
have to,
keep it
Yeah.
from. So really then you may feel the difficulty in obstacles that much rather than, you know, feeling it that much. So you have the remedy and it's like that.
small, because for those and
And you can deal with that
Yeah.
as a human, but that, forget it.
big problems.
Some people are going to be like hearing this, like the salt, you know, trapping and then the water drowning. Some people are going to listen to this and go, these people are effing nuts. Like that, this is just craziness.
I know.
And it's interesting because you've talked about like with the introduction as well, looking at what is just selling remedies and what's actually real.
Yes.
I'm presuming because Xavier's had you on the show and you seem like someone that is incredibly authentic, which means you're either, in my books, you're either completely nuts and you believe exactly what you're saying and you're nuts, or you actually know from experience, or you know from experience that things have happened. You're saying that, okay, you know, coins and the circles and it's from the metal and that sort of stuff. This is the why. But it sounds like you're saying, what I'm getting from you is, yeah, look, that's what that is. But like, just do it and you'll see if it works or not. You're saying this shit actually works. It's basically like, don't worry about how strange it is. Just do it. And if it works, that's what it is. So you're saying that this weird shit works.
Yeah.
It actually works, yeah?
It does work.
I'm a psychic and I channel stuff of what's right in that, but I still use all of this
Yeah.
because
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It's a tool,
I
isn't
can
it?
still tap into some things and see, like I can do with a person to see if they're authentic or they're full of shit, or, you know, if they're my kind of person. And Salwa's definitely the real deal for me and so many other people. She reaches so many people. And she's got such a big heart as well, doing her lives and free. If you find her on YouTube, so many free, she just talks and talks and talks about that. You're like, so when you get your chart done, one of these pieces of paper, and you find out if you're earth, fire, water, metal, she does it every week. So now that you have this, when you get that, you know you're the earth element. So every Sunday night I post and my posts go for each element. So you look for earth element and you know what's going to happen every single day of the week for you. And she'll explain the whole week and then and the whole year.
And so I do that. YouTube, LinkedIn, MeWe.
How will that help me knowing this information that you bring out? How is that going to help me in daily life?
Right. So let's say for you because you are earth. So
I'm so glad I wore brown to this podcast.
That's power.
Is it good?
Your power, yeah.
Not
so
crap.
Tomorrow, for instance.
My underwear's brown too. That's a different.
That's funny. So tomorrow for you, it's earth, or for the world, it's earth and water. Or Friday, I should say, when the month and the year change together. So it's earth and water. Earth is people like you. So you, friends, family, colleagues, siblings. It's a very social kind of thing, whether the social is like this or the social is different. And it's water. So water is your money, but this money is going to peak tomorrow.
Okay.
That means if you go to buy something and you know that the day is money for you, it's fine. But if the day is pressure on you and the money is not working, then you don't go and buy something. You know, a lot of you have bought something, a pair of shoes. It was fantastic in the shop, but then
Yes.
take it
Never
home,
worn them.
not what you bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because you bought it on that social.
So if you have your
so much of
calendar
a day, yeah,
and you know, or she tells you about the week and you're like, well, that's the day where you should be doing a diving and things aren't going to work. Don't
Yeah.
go buy the
much
fancy
pressure on
shoes
you.
that day. So that's how it helps you. Just you make smarter
Wow.
choices.
Okay.
yeah. And then you also know what the month is bringing, and you know, I normally do about 40 workshops a year to bring for the year. So I'll go interstate, overseas, and all over Victoria. So, but because of what's happening, I've come up with a PowerPoint that's on a USB stick. So then people sit and watch it in the comfort of their own, binge on it in the comfort of their own home, rather than sit for an hour in a workshop.
Yep.
And so for me, I kind of did it for those that still don't want to come out, too scared to come out, that sort of thing. But I didn't realize it was going to be so successful. I was just, and so
It's your time to shine, Salwa.
in that way, yes. And so I have to do so many USBs now because I've gone from thinking it's only going to be a group hand, you know, just
I love that you're still a bit old
people.
school, that instead of just sharing it online or like sending a link to watch it, you're giving him an actual USB.
Because when I did send it online,
awesome.
a lot of people have not updated their computers.
Ah, yeah.
And I had to think of what's the next best thing that
That's
I can
great.
do this.
So they've got an actual USB.
An actual USB. So
Yeah.
even if they've got a Mac or HP or whatever,
Yeah, that's true.
and they can even plug it into their car and listen to it in the car. So
Yeah.
it makes it that way because, I mean, you know, we've got people that if they're anything like me, IT is not their number one thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
It was really good. I always record her. It goes for about an hour or something.
Yes.
Just explaining the year ahead. So it takes so many notes because every year these things all happen and we don't know exactly how
Yeah,
it's going to happen. There are different things she says, and reminding us all the time it's not intuitive. It's just like
yeah. A lot of
facts.
people think that they think I'm
it's
downloading.
She's not channeling.
this.
It's factual. Like I remember listening a couple years ago, and you talking about there's going to be fires.
Yeah,
And there's needles.
we're going to have heroes. And,
She knew because of the metal or something. She was actually saying it like there'll be needles or something. And she had no idea about COVID. And so it was in the chart. Like it was just.
I know what every line means in that calligraphy. It's not just a
It's so
tiger. It's
detailed.
not just a rat. You know, if you look at the rat is like a 3 with a stroke. That was the mask in 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
So
all that
it's
stuff,
different to what's with it. And it goes through 60-year cycles. So it was 60 years ago. What happened 60 years ago is exactly this year, but we've got 60 years of technology and control, and you've been sucked in, and this. So that's why it's on a different level. So I know.
It's more, it's
So
different.
it's compounding.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like
Compounding
the
information.
teaching. It's the Tao. The Tao shows you the way.
Yep.
You know, it's like there's a path. If you don't walk on this path, it won't become a path.
Yeah.
It's that's the way it is. It's called the way. Yeah.
So the main two, you've got you can get your house done to help you make sure you're sitting in the right place, you're not
Yeah.
flushing away your money, and then you can get your personal chart done. I know I was blown away when I got my personal chart done because you get a session. So she'll do the little thing, but then she'll sit down with you and explain it all
Yeah.
to you.
It's
like a
about 30 to
consultation.
40 minutes.
And I remember you going through when I got my first, I got it done. I've had it done twice now. I got it again when I met Daniel so we could get it together and
Yeah.
see how we'll
Compatible.
Yeah, it was great. But the first time I remember you going through is like these, is it 5 years to 10-year gaps?
10 years, yes.
And she
5
said,
and
okay,
10
and
years.
this 10-year block, that's when your parents would have divorced. And this 10, and I'm like, what? And I'm looking at the age and I'm like, that is when my parents divorced.
Wow.
I remember ringing out mum and dad and
Everything
going,
you go through is in your
sorry,
destiny.
I think it's my fault you got divorced. Because when I was
No.
born.
Yeah.
It just,
So what? That's
even if
amazing.
it went apart, like a parent passes away, like oh, what was it?
In that.
That Prince Albert, the Italian, her daughter, Princess Grace. So I use these in classes. So Princess Grace, in the oldest daughter, her mum's passing was in her chart, the oldest.
Okay, right. Okay. Yeah.
Could have like told them before it happened if they
you
wouldn't
I
tell
don't
them.
know.
That's a whole
I
ethical
don't
thing
do
you
that.
choose.
That-
But
Hey, this has become the movie Inception. Like, well, you're going to go inside a dream and change things. Don't, if you've got a time machine, don't go back. You'll alter the
but you
future.
could see why
I would go back.
you could see when my marriage wasn't going to work out.
Yes,
Or it was like, if
And
you
I don't flower it, so I'm very
Just-
blunt.
That's nice.
see all that stuff, which is
Yeah.
great. And
Honesty is so important because it
Oh,
might
yeah,
might be hard at the
because when
start,
it
but it's
happens, you're
better.
going to come and blame me that I didn't tell you.
yeah, it's like I
and
didn't-
fair enough too.
yeah, and you could get
Yeah.
a heads up to mentally prepare or know
Yeah,
that
so knowing what's
there's
coming.
something you can do to help it or not. That's
People are
what-
going to be so reluctant to want to come and see.
That's-
It's like,
But
oh,
see,
but
that's
I'll come and get the
okay.
truth.
really curious.
No, I
as well.
understand that too. And that's why
Mm.
I know people, like I remember once I was going to somebody's home and I could hear her from outside and she goes, the master's here, the master's here. And I've got this smirk on my face. And then after we sat down and I went through it and she goes, you're a normal person.
How disappointing.
I get that a bit too. That's quite
Yeah,
funny.
you're a
I think so
normal
as well.
person. It's like,
You
what did
swear
you
and
think?
stuff,
I had a
like-
wand or a,
Fairy
yeah.
wings. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I love what I do. This was a hobby for me. It wasn't,
Wow.
and it wasn't until I had children. And then I found out my hour that I was born.
Right.
And so with my children, I later found out the hour and realized, oh my goodness, my children were my academic star.
Explain
Right.
what
Which
does that mean?
means the minute I have a child, my destiny became that.
Yeah.
Because before that, the Feng Shui and the 4 pillars, the destiny was just a party thing or a barbecue thing. And I just tell people where to put, what to do, not a business. I used to open restaurants
So
from
having-
all over the world for people.
That's
not,
right.
Not this.
This
And-
is incredible though. Like I thought that Feng Shui, not coming into the interview because I knew there's obviously a lot more to it.
Yeah.
But really my knowledge of Feng Shui is
Yeah.
where you put a couch.
People
I'm not kidding.
are
Or like,
That's okay, because there's 3 generations of Chinese that actually think that too.
okay, good. I don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
But it's
They were
interesting.
beheaded if they practiced it. So that's why they all left. So they could
Yeah.
keep up their traditions. They left
Yeah.
China, so Thailand, Singapore, and it's flourishing there.
Yeah.
So celebrating Chinese New Year
Great.
today,
On
like
Friday,
it's like
yeah.
feels like, is it okay for us to celebrate it because we're not Chinese? Like
Yeah,
if we're not
It's no big
impeding on,
deal.
you
no
know,
big deal.
so why is it Chinese? This Feng Shui, is it okay for everybody to use?
Yeah.
Like, is that fine?
You've just got to think about it that in 24 hours, do you want the change or not?
So it's okay for us to celebrate the Chinese New Year,
Why not?
no matter what nationality, because chi is energy. which
Chi
is
is energy
everywhere.
that you feel, can't touch, can't see, but you feel it.
And the Chinese don't own that. They just know it through Feng Shui.
So it's okay. It's like
Oh,
we're not
Chi has
impeding
a
on
name
their
in every
traditions. Or,
nationality. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Arabic, we call it ruh as a soul.
Oh, wow. Yeah, beautiful.
In Hebrew, it's ruh too. So
so what here is we just call it energy.
we, energy, it's just
In the
energy.
West, no, it doesn't
In the
exist.
West, it doesn't even have a proper meaning. It has ether,
Oh,
Yeah, ether,
like can't see it, but you can smell it.
The
So
vibe.
feel it,
yeah, feel it.
vibe. Yeah, in
Knock
Australia,
out.
it's called the vibe.
Vibe.
Yeah,
You give
the
me good
vibe.
vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just teasing.
It's-
I'm teasing
it's-
myself.
oh,
We
yeah,
should be,
but
we
I'm
should be,
trying to
we
think.
should be talking about New Year, but out of which you've quite easily identified, I've got a million things going on, and I need to focus on just
Yeah.
10. Um,
Explains
one of those is screaming at me at the moment, so I just need to put it out there.
Yeah.
I can't get past this idea of there's a portal in the center of your house,
He loves that.
Yes.
and then maybe there's a couple if you've built on, and I get energy of houses, but an actual portal. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people that watch sci-fi that are getting very excited right now, mapping out their house, mapping out their suburb, mapping out the state.
Yeah, in the lounge
Oh, we're
room.
going to
I've
have
got-
warriors this year.
I got two
They
things.
may not look like Thor, but yeah.
Okay.
Damn it.
Okay, I've definitely got to hit the gym if I'm going to look like Thor. But I'll find the center of the gym and stay away from that because my muscle mass will shrink into that.
Good,
I need to be like in the corner at the
So you've
window with a couple of
already-
points.
He's worked it out.
He's
Okay, cool.
taking it on board, but in a way you think. So
Basically a grasshopper with no information. Great. Okay. I might as well go on Google and
Fully
work out where to put my couch.
yeah.
But with that, there's two things I'm thinking of, and I'm definitely going down this second road in a second. But the first one, when you think of like, as soon as you said like there's a type of portal in the center of blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and as soon as you said country, I thought of Uluru
Yes.
in the center of our country, and
Correct.
everyone that I know that has been there has said that and people that aren't spiritual or woo-woo at all have
Yeah.
said that when they were there, it was like a sense of awe and just this incredible feeling that when they were
Can't
there.
explain it. I lived
And the
there.
indigenous people, it's like so sacred, and we've been bloody climbing the thing for so long,
Not
like
anymore.
assholes.
Yeah.
But thankfully not anymore. Good thing Pauline Hanson ran up there for the last time to be really Australian. But with that Central Australia, with Uluru, that's kind of, it is, I don't think it's like dead set center, 700 millimeters spin
No.
around,
No.
but it's like, we see that as kind of like the middle of the country. Maybe it was the middle of the country when the country was,
Actually,
the
I
land
should
mass was
measure
bigger.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. I
The
don't
land
know
mass could have
measure
been
it.
bigger. Yeah. And you get this, so the energies from Central Australia, and that being a very spiritual place for Indigenous or First Nation Australians.
Yes.
You think that's got to do with what's happening with the pandemic? And remember, everything that we say here,
Yeah.
and it's like anything that we say, like, you don't have to believe it.
No,
You don't have to disbelieve it. It's just information, and it's not.
It's just information you
This
do.
is what you're getting, to see that what you're getting as
element.
you think that there is really an energy portal that's there. So say outside of the pandemic, is it a portal anyway?
Sometimes these things happen early before the date. The energy comes earlier. So that's what she's talking about.
Yeah. So for those out there that have no idea, go back to November, and after the 7th of November, what happened to you, your money, your family, your friends, yourself? Because November, November that just passed, brought in 2022 earlier for some people.
Okay.
Not everyone.
Why does it do that for some people?
Because they may have a pig or a goat or a rabbit
On their chart, not their
on
backyard.
their chart,
Yeah.
not in their backyard. Yeah, because that's part of their destiny, is those animals, and that brings it in. It can bring it in 6 months in advance.
Wow. Okay.
So
So that
that's why
energy,
that center
yep,
is feeding all of Australia. It's like this, but it's feeding all of Australia. So
Obviously
we're all
bigger
going
scale.
to feel it.
So it's a bit bigger in the center of Australia than just that with the
So the
body.
whole of Australia
It'll be
will
bigger.
feel it. If it's China, the whole of China feels it.
so with that, so because I mean, this has been the Uluru has been something that has been I don't know, understood to a certain degree by the First Nations people as being a really important spiritual place for, whatever, 40,000 years maybe. So it's always been a thing, obviously. So has this always been like a center of, like, I don't know, subtle energy being sent out? Like, is it always, does it project or does it suck in? What is it doing?
It sucks in.
Sucks in.
So on a human level, you know how sometimes we blame doors that we go to get something and we forget. But on a human level, this becomes more. So you forget a lot of things because of this portal, because you're being sucked into something different, not where you are now. So it affects you as a human, because if that portal has entities, then you're not thinking the same way you normally think. Maybe
Right.
I should put it this way. We've got a high mental health thing happening from the past 2 years. This is on a mental thing, not just mental health, meaning nutso.
Right.
We're going to see more nutso this year.
As in,
More
what do you mean by
Just
nutso? Do you mean?
People that will just go out and destroy.
Okay. So less control.
Yeah.
It's can we just people just go visit there every day and jingle some bells and it will help like disperse the energy? Is that would that help?
Well,
is there anything we can do?
No, not really. Not really.
So it's okay in your house, but we can't help
in your
the
house, you
centre
can
of Australia.
control it. In your business, you can control it, but you can't control it all over the world.
Do you think the Indigenous Australians or First Nation people knew that over all of these thousands
They
of
know
years?
things are happening, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in Uluru because I worked in the gallery there, the art gallery there, and I was pregnant with my third child then, because my partner at the time, we used to travel wherever the money is, and he was a HR for the resorts, and I could see Uluru from my bathroom window every day as I
Wow.
showered.
Beautiful.
So it was just like, wow, even that far away, because you can't see where the residents live from the resort. But yeah, and going there and understanding what every little cave there is, you know, secret women's business, secret men's business, all of that. There's no way someone can go there and say they don't feel anything.
Wow.
And another, from my perspective, and some people listening might understand, because of the ley lines in the world, that Uluru is one of the chakra centers for the world. Uluru represents the solar plexus, which is one of the main reasons as well, apart from our beautiful history and all the meaning behind it, that I would love to go there, not knowing if, where I can travel to overseas at the moment to see the other ones, because they're all in different locations around the world. But Australia has the solar plexus, which is the I am chakra, the chakra of joy, and who am I as a person. So that's a beautiful energy. So people might be picking up on that.
Yeah.
Depending on what your beliefs are, I guess.
Yes.
Whatever it is, that's one perspective. But then there's a beautiful, and I don't know, with deepest respect, I don't know the Aboriginal explanation and meaning and history behind it. So I'd love
Road trip podcast.
I really
road trip
want to go
podcast.
there, but then sometimes it's like, with that, I want to be respectful and understand the meaning behind it before I do, from all aspects.
Road trip. I think road trip podcast.
People used to actually take pieces back home, and apparently they would parcel. And I remember when we lived there early, 2000. I had Harry 2000. Yeah, 2000. I remember people telling stories why you shouldn't climb it.
Yeah.
And that doctors in other countries, if somebody had a stroke, they would say, "Where have you been traveling?" There was like, for the fact that doctors knew from how you had your stroke, where you had been in the world, and that's why they ask you.
If you've been disrespectful to the energy and the people.
To me, that was amazing.
Wow.
It's interesting because even from the level of, if you don't believe in anything outside of the physical norm, to go to a sacred place like this and take some of the stone with you is completely disrespectful anyway.
Yes.
So, like, I mean, on so many levels, it's disrespectful, and I'm very glad that we've gotten to a point finally where we understand that we have like the most basic level of respect for our First Nations people there.
It'll be stronger this year.
So
that's amazing. So there is a thing. So it's not just
concerned about worrying about, like, I'm trying not to worry, but I'm like, what can happen because of this portal in that area?
A lot of things can happen because of the portal. So they will have so much difficulty to get back on top as humans living in that area, and they already have those issues anyway. But it is what it is. So there'll be more challenges. That energy was great once upon a time, but it hasn't been good for 20, 40, 60 years.
Okay, so it is a cyclical thing as well. So part of that
Founded
is,
as well.
but
Okay.
not for 100-something years.
Oh Lordy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Gonna send a whole lot of love.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And the more we understand and the more we love and the more we actually listen to each other, I think the better that's going to be. And I'd love to do a podcast with a First Nations person, Indigenous person
That would be
around the
amazing.
spiritual
Yeah.
thing, because
Yeah.
I think
Because I
there's so much we can learn.
Not knowing enough, and
Yeah.
it was disrespectful, not even understanding enough. So I would like to learn.
Look, we know a lot because I lived there and
Yes.
did so much. You know, like we went on a helicopter ride once over the Olgas. And this is
Oh, wow.
something nobody sees. It happened to be raining. And the Olgas was like someone had punctured holes throughout the whole thing and the water was pouring out.
Wow.
Amazing.
I've never seen a picture of it like that. And I'm like, oh my God, it looks like someone's just punched holes and the
Oh,
water's
cool.
gushing out of this beautiful, huge rock formation.
It is a bizarre piece of
So
land.
that sort of thing, you just, it's like, this is something.
It's alien.
Something special.
Yeah.
Related to that, and on a smaller scale. So just on a more micro scale, I should say, where you're talking about portals being in the centre, Uluru being the centre of the country, and the people that live around there, where they will see that as quite a spiritual place. Okay. People that do kind of ghost hunting or see apparitions or spirits or things like that.
Yeah.
Is there a relationship between, say, someone messing around with a Ouija board in a certain part of the house and that portal and entities?
Yes.
Okay, I'm freaked out. I'm closing this off.
No,
Thank you for coming. This is great. and thank you everyone for listening.
No, because most people already have that portal somewhere in their home.
Like I have one in my,
but it may not be activated.
Right.
So it's what you use the area for. But because the center of your home, not everybody is going to be a hallway. Some people, it might be a linen cupboard or a pantry or the corner of a lounge. That's why you've got to have it right. So some people have it somewhere else, but it's not activated. But this is active because now, remember before I said about the Bagua, the 9 squares?
Yes.
That's the house of the dead.
Right.
The cycle this year is repeating the house of the dead. So now there's 2 portals in the center. So because of the original and what the year brings, and that's why it's so strong. And if it's the center of your home, you're actually going up and down that center. So you've activated it.
by the movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why you've got to find your center first. And if it is a hallway, macrame pot plant goes up and you put the salt water in there.
Or go jingle your bells every day.
So that's,
you got to remember to jingle them every day.
Because if you do your Ouija board and whatever there, something will come down. But the thing is, if you're not prepared, you can become possessed.
And there's people that are going to do it intentionally.
I know.
Yeah.
Drawn to those areas and want to do it, even if they don't know about Feng Shui, they'll just feel like that's a good place.
Yeah.
And there's some bad stuff that could come through.
Could.
I'm just feeling I feel a bit nauseous. I keep feeling all the stuff and I feel like I'm going to vomit.
Yeah.
Because it is.
What could potentially happen?
Yes.
Because it's quite dangerous for people's mental health, at least. So whether it's real or not, let's just say that some people have these experiences and feel it, and it's quite frightening for them because it's outside of their control. So with this, you're saying that don't mess around with energies because you believe that they are real. And then the best way to do it is to look at ways, if it is activated and you notice something in your house that doesn't feel right, then it's about consulting someone to work out how to, does it counter it or does it close it or does it?
No, you can't close it. It's there for the whole year, but the salt water is what you do.
All you have to do is salt water and be okay.
Yeah.
But
there's a remedy for everything.
I might have some new clients this year that have picked up entities that I need to clear because they don't know that. So, and I'll tell them about the center of the house so they can fix it. So then it doesn't happen again.
It's just about educating, really. I mean,
wow.
It's so I can't say woke because woke has a different meaning today.
It's terrible.
But yeah, anyway.
Yes.
Well, knowledge is power, right?
Correct.
Exactly. And so some people listen to this and go, yeah, whatever, I don't believe any of it. But
That's fine.
that's up to them. That's their story and what goes on in their house.
Yeah.
And how they
I mean, I was blown away the first time I saw the 9 squares in the Han Dynasty, in a thing I was looking up. And there it was in the Han Dynasty, and it had the Arabic writing on it. And my parents are white witches. So if you had a headache, you would come over and we'd write
Panadol.
No, we'd write your spell and it'll be gone.
Wow.
You couldn't have children, spell, you get these herbs, done, dusted. You needed Viagra, herbs, done. That sort of stuff. That's how huge it was. And
What she said. Yep.
Viagra.
I know.
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah, wow.
Just realize that.
Let's cut that last bit out.
Better move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Particularly if your sign is wood. Obviously.
Yeah.
He's on
We've got
fire.
wood. Yeah.
Sorry
That's
about that,
funny.
yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, that sort of thing. And when I saw it, I realized the Han Dynasty used black magic.
Wow.
to rule.
Okay.
But it wasn't until I saw that, then I wanted more. And I can read and write Arabic as well as the Chinese calligraphies and that. So I wanted more. And then when I learned it all, I learned 9 different schools. There's only one correct school. So that's how much crap is actually out there.
And no wonder people get confused.
And they blame Feng Shui for it.
Yeah.
And the fallacy of antiquity as well. So some people think just because it's thousands of years old, it must be true.
Yeah.
But just as much as people come up with rubbish now, they came up with rubbish back then too.
It is. Like I said, there's 3 generations of Chinese that actually do the Western, and they think Feng Shui is black magic.
Right. Yep.
It's what helped build their country
Yeah.
and their ancestry, but they call it black magic.
So if anything,
Sorry.
where there are energies in the house, and I think most people could say that there's certain energies in a house and there's certain feelings. If you go back to outside of what you believe or disbelieve, but go into what you know.
Yes.
You know when you have a certain feeling at some stage. And depending on if you're Xavier, who's obviously, as you said, I nearly said a water sign, but the water element, and then she's followed that, worked on her intuition as well as it being natural. Unless you're in that world and really in tune with it, you can still feel like something.
Yeah.
So you're saying that really with the Feng Shui, what you do is you break down let's say the scientific side of it, like, because you're working out actual
science.
things.
Yeah.
You're working the science behind what those feelings might mean, and then breaking it right down. And it might not be something that you can grasp because there's so many different compounding parts of information involved.
Yes.
But what it can do is give you a picture on why you feel that in a certain way, and then how, if you set things up differently, how that can affect the feel of the place. And you're saying it's outside of just the feeling, that's actually into your future as far as money or luck or whatever it is.
Yeah. So on that, for instance, let's say you all sit at the dinner table and it never ends well at this dinner table. Every single
Families
night.
have that. Yep.
That means you are sitting in anger, frustration, conflict, quarreling. So when someone tells me that we can't have a proper meal, I know straight away what it is. So I can say to them, so the energy becomes, if I use this, for instance, so the energy is a negative wood. So we have to burn this off. We burn it off with fire and earth.
Right.
To drain it.
So
That's
practically, that means
a terracotta pot is fire and earth.
Yeah.
Put it on the dining table. Nothing big.
Wow. Okay.
and then it's fixed.
So I say, do
I thought you were going
that.
to say you got to burn down the table and do a seance or something.
Wooden table.
No, you can put a red flowers. You can put a red mat, red runner.
Okay.
I say, do that until I come.
And then she'll,
Okay.
And they
That's a
will
Band-Aid.
say to me, I cannot believe it.
it's changed the energy. Yeah. Yeah.
They have a meal.
So during homeschooling, we have a huge dining table, right? But that space is not good for learning and studying. So the kids would be spread out, 6 kids spread out in different parts of the house, and this is not the practical dining table to do the homework because it's not a. They'll
It's not
just.
a good-
I
yeah.
know because they've had the house done that they'll struggle.
That's interesting.
Even though we've got the things in there that's right, but it's still not ideal.
The remedies.
So
yeah.
the remedies are there, but it's still not the best place to retain information. So there's no point studying there. So they'll sit in other places of the house. Their bedroom is weird. The beds are in weird spots and everything. It's not practical because it's the best place for their heads to be when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
And they get it.
As long as your head. Basically, if you have children, little children, wherever they gravitate, that's where your luck is.
Mm.
And your cats and dogs, wherever your luck is, that's where they.
That's why they were sleeping in my room that I do the healings and work. They're always on my chairs.
So, and you're always saying, get out of there. Get off
Yes, I was
that.
kicking them out. I don't want cat hair on my couch for my clients, but they
Yeah.
love the space and cats are intuitive.
There you go.
There you go. Love it.
Wow. Okay. So there's real practical ways of looking
Oh, there's heaps. There's heaps.
looking at it's like a practical application of the sense or feeling that you might have in the place. Like it's literally just making it more practical so you can do something about it. So it's like the opposite to fortune telling, where someone just says,
It
"Oh,
is
I can see
really-
this in the future,"
yeah.
and then they let them go.
Forewarning, yes, but there's an element behind it. It didn't just come from nowhere. That sort of
Yep.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Some people just have they feel like they just have bad luck. Like I know
Yes.
a family that they're always having injuries. Someone in their house is always injuring something, getting sick, something going wrong. And I have told them,
It's the
and
front
hopefully
door.
they listen
It's the
to the
front door.
podcast. And I've
Yeah.
said to them, get Salwa over to Feng Shui your house.
Wow.
I feel tuning into why they have these issues, that they just need their house Feng Shui and everything will shift.
Yeah, it can just be at the front door, which affects everybody.
And so they would stop then having the sicknesses and injuries, and like there's always an accident every other week. One of them in the house
Yeah.
is injured. And I know I just feel that it's Feng Shui that would fix it.
So like the calendar came about from people will ring me at the end of the month and say, we've all been sick. And it's like, if you call me at the end of the month, it's done and dusted.
yeah,
Too late.
So then with the calendar, every single month actually tells you where the two worst energies are direction wise.
Wow.
And then you fix that before it actually comes in. And if it's ill health at your front door, it will be one in 9 months. It all
every
has
9
a
months
turn.
it takes turns and
So
moves around.
if you put your 6 coins under the mat or in the garden, throw them in there somewhere where that direction is, you've already helped yourself.
So we have 2 sets. Like there's because she was talking about before how the center is the ill health for the bells.
Yeah.
But then that's for the year, and then there's another
There
energy
might be
for the
another
month.
place. Yeah.
So sometimes it'll be the same spot. So every month you change it once for the year. I have 2 sets. So I have 2 sets. So one's for the year, and then every month I also move the bells and coins to other locations according to the calendar every month. So it's a little bit getting used to it. You have
So people want this calendar from you. Like,
Yeah.
what do they do? Do they set up an appointment with you and you sit down and
No,
go
they
through
can
it based
just
on?
text me or email me or messenger, whichever, and then just say I would like a calendar. I need their birth
Wonderful.
date. So then with the calendar, I don't do the chart as in the 30, 40-minute one.
Typically, yeah.
I give them one of these and then they can
Which
see
is?
here. And when I do every week what the post for each of these elements are, they will know what kind of a day it's going to be for them.
So what Salwa's showing here is that it's a small chart with
Yeah.
information
can
based
follow
on
with
your
Yeah.
day and your year,
Yes.
and the day being more important. There you go. Very interesting.
Yes.
And so with that calendar that Xavier is going to send you, it'll have that's the color codes. So the
Great.
blue tells you you're challenged, and the purple says, we call them nobleman days, which is spirit guide days. So you've got to actually ask for what you want. And it's not saying I want or I need. You just say, may I please have the door open to ... and I will gladly or gratefully walk through
So
it.
it's good to know your nobleman days. So when you wake up, you can just say, please show me what I need today. That's what I say. And the amount of times we've had a nobleman, like someone, it's usually physically somebody has called and offered us something or assisted us with something, or me, depending on the day, or you bumped into someone, they gave you some great advice, and
It's amazing.
on nobleman days, it's amazing.
So it's great if you know it.
If you
I don't
know.
know it. I just live. But
Yes.
that's it.
And then you can just, so for you, I guess, Salwa, you're just always living open. ready to receive anyway. So you
I
can
do.
cast a net,
I
cast a big net.
yeah, it's like that. It's been like that. The past 2 years has been like that. You know, the other thing is, I remember in 2019 when I was doing 2020, the workshop, and I said, for those of you that are thinking that you're going to get married or engaged, it's not going to happen. So I just said that because the romance flower for that year, 2020, was hidden. So we don't see people get married.
Okay.
You're locked behind doors.
And a lot of weddings and things
So it was
got
cancelled.
postponed and
So
cancelled.
it went
we
on
didn't-
to another
And you
year.
didn't know that was the reason why.
I
She
did
just
not
said,
know. No, I just said
not
to
happening.
people, don't do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So don't plan your
So
wedding.
I
because
don't
won't
know it
happen,
on
right?
that level. I just say it elementally what it means.
Yep.
It was a romance flower. It was a change. Can't have what you want. Romance flower.
Wow.
So you're like, so I guess, and that's where you're coming from. You don't interpret. You just do the numbers and go, hey, this is what it is for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could be different for everyone, but this, for example, was on a huge scale.
Yes.
That everyone, so in that way, it wasn't going to happen.
No,
And you had no idea how.
it's
And then
all over the world.
And then we figure out over the year, we go, oh, that's how.
Yeah.
That makes sense of what she was talking
of
about.
what it, that's why there's
Yeah.
no romance. And then 2021, the romance was buried in the earth. So
Oh.
that means it's not there. You think you're being romantic and you're in a relationship, but it's going to actually end. So how many people's relationships ended?
It might not be for everyone, obviously, but
Not
for lots
everyone,
it
but
did.
yeah, for a lot on a world scale, yes.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So I know like you were talking about certain people because Feng Shui people would often sell the little animals and stuff now.
Yeah.
And people go by the year that it is.
No.
And it's like, no. So people actually this year they need a pig or a
pig.
boar.
Yeah. So if
Maybe.
you have, if anywhere in the chart you have a snake, a tiger, or a snake, tiger, I forgot.
Snake tiger. I'm trying to remember what you
Monkey.
said. Monkey. That's it. Yeah.
Snake, tiger, or monkey. If you have any of that in the chart, whether it's your hour, your day, your month, or your year, then there are issues with the tiger this year. And just because you're born the year of the tiger, it is not your year. You're actually mimicking the year, and he doesn't like that. So what we then do is we wear an animal to keep it busy, best friend, soulmate, etc.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's the pig. So the tiger of the year and the pig are soulmates. So like for myself, I'm wearing a rat until tomorrow because the ox of 2021 had to be calmed down by the rat.
There is so much misinformation because I remember, like, I know I was born in the year of the monkey, right? So there was this whole thing around, and I don't have a monkey tattooed on me. I just act like one. But like there's this whole thing about people that were born in the year of, so they get that tattoo, or
personality or something.
No,
or they have kids, and so they'll have those, tattooed on them based on the kids. And you're saying, oh no, that's
So now you were born, but it's still not, doesn't matter. You're all 4 of your, or is it 8?
Yeah.
8.
8 characters.
There's 8 characters. You're all 8 of them. You might have
Okay.
dragons or, like.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you
what's
have
yours?
children?
Does he need?
No.
Yeah, he needs a pig.
So you actually need to wear the pig for the whole year starting tomorrow
I have to wear a pig
for a year.
So you can buy it
on
as
what? Like my
calligraphy.
t-shirt? What?
No, it's
too
got to
big.
be on you. So you can
Yes.
buy it as a calligraphy and put it on a chain.
And wear it.
I used to do keychains, but I can't do them anymore.
Well, they're not on your body though either.
No, they're not. But
So-
men, for example, always have their keys in their hand or pocket. I know we're generalizing, but it was a thing. Okay, I'll get them a keychain. Or
Oh, he's
you
got
know,
the monkey.
and he's got
and
the
2
snakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's
really
it going to
need a
be
pig.
if I carry? Let's say I carry a pig somehow, and not literally because that'll be very
Yeah.
heavy and awkward.
You know, Pandora has them now as
Little
jewelry, all
charms
12 animals.
on a bracelet, or you could do the undie tag thing. You
Yeah.
can draw the Feng Shui
I
symbol
can do
on
the
the
undie tag. Okay.
Yeah,
All
you
of
draw
them,
the
and then you're
pig.
on
You
you.
just draw the pig.
as long as you
Okay.
wear underwear. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
So
I
if you
keep,
look
I
up
keep
at
everything in check.
Yeah. If you look up a pig calligraphy and then you just draw that on.
What's that do this year then?
Well, what it does is, and you've already gone through this in your own life, in 2010, you and your house of spouse were disturbed. Disturbed meaning one wanted to go this way and one wanted to go that way.
Oh, you got to go back and recess that
In
year.
2010.
I got to work that out. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Disturbed question
But
mark.
for you also, it also works on your ideas. So tomorrow, you're going to feel the confusion from Friday onwards, you're going to feel the confusion.
Okay.
Because it's on your resources.
Okay.
So if I was talking to you, I would say to you, you sit on a snake, do not go in partnership with anybody until February 4, 2023, then go for it. Because what ends up happening, it's called a harm when things happen that way. Doesn't matter how good the business is. It doesn't matter how rich the person is you're going in business with.
Wow.
You're going to be left with, and I explain it in this way, you're going to be left with the debt, the children, and the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
We call it a third party.
So
thing.
how will the pig help him?
The pig will keep that tiger away from the snake. So you only feel it that much, issues here and there, not takes you out. And it is a travel star, which means
so it mitigates.
Hours removed, your resources are removed, and it affects your house of spouse in this case.
Mm-hmm. So for those listening, watching that are like, but I don't know my animals, call Salwa.
Yeah. Okay.
Look,
cool.
I'm very happy to do these little things for people so they can follow every week what I post every month. I'm happy to do those. So I just scan it or take a picture.
That's
and
so
send
nice
it.
of you, because
that's great.
It's about educating. I realized I'm here for
and then
that.
tune into a
which
YouTube
is my academic stuff.
Yeah, and watch. But if you want to go more in depth and have the whole 40-minute explanation of what's coming up in the future as well, like, gosh, we love knowing that. Yeah, we're going to be smashing it in the next 10 years, which is great. Yeah. And that's okay. I'm happy to wait a bit longer until I'm in my 50s instead. Yeah, so it's really great knowing that, and if you have this sense of just understanding, it's like a prediction. It's forewarned.
It's forewarning.
Giving you a heads up, and so you can plan your life and your next moves better and with accurate, actual, factual information.
I don't know how this is going to work, having the pig symbol on me for the next year. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to do it.
Underwear tag.
Do it. Yeah, if it's
I'm going to do it to find out.
Redo it. But
well, you've already lived it. What happened 2010?
Can you remember?
I don't know.
You go back to it in your own time. You don't want a repeat of it because it affected your house of spouse. And if you had children, then it affected your children as well.
Oh, so everything I do affects my house of spouse. That's why I have so much empathy for my house of spouse. She endures a lot.
Your house of spouse all the time now.
She endures a lot, my house of spouse. So I'm sure whatever I did in 2010 affected her.
She'll tell you. You go say that to her, she'll know.
Her. Yeah.
What did I do in 2010?
What was the mistake you did in 2010?
This is the problem. If you've slept since then.
Position as well. So the position.
And this is for everybody in general, but so if they know they've got a snake, monkey, or what was the other one? Tiger. And he's got all of them.
Yeah, he's got all of them.
You've got 2 snakes, a tiger, and a monkey.
It sounds like a joke.
So
2 snakes, a tiger, and a monkey walk into a year.
Yeah, you've got all of them. That's funny.
But see, the 3 together, what they do is make more fire. And fire is your resources and your ideas, which means sometimes you need to be, you need somebody to just say, go sit in the corner. Mick?
Can I do that too? I'm with water. He needs water. I'll help you in your house.
Oh, she's your money element. You can have a business.
Cool.
I'm gonna bring
cash.
You. Awesome.
Bringing in cash.
This brings you pressure.
Free podcast.
Pressure. I give him money. He gives me pressure. Great.
Yeah. Hey, we need pressure to perform. It's a bell chart of stress. That's fine.
It's not always negative. The pressure.
You're welcome. By the way, you're welcome.
So I'm going to ask. I asked before, just before you. So with the pig, does it have to be the calligraphy symbol, or can you just draw like a pig's face?
You can just draw a pig face.
Can you write pig?
Yeah, you can write pig.
Cool. Or boar.
Yeah,
don't
that's
like
a good
pink.
question. I've never had that.
Because I'm like, my daughter she needs a rat for life.
Yeah.
And she's a bit young for a tattoo. So that's why we got the tattoo. So I've got 2 little Feng Shui symbol tattoos on the back of my leg because I need those 2 animals for life. But when it's for
To
the
help.
year, you wouldn't go get it tattooed. Because
No.
does it matter if you get it tattooed and then you don't need it anymore? Does that
No,
stuff
it
you
doesn't matter.
up? Okay, good.
Okay.
So
Everyone just had a relief there because they're like, I got the year. I was born in the year of the monkey, and I got a monkey tattoo, and now
Doesn't
it's
ruin
terrible.
anything.
it doesn't
Okay.
do anything
Okay.
that way.
Okay,
What
cool.
the whole thing is about is removing what is causing the blockage,
Okay.
etc., and that's how we use it.
So if they've got a big dragon tattoo on their back,
They've got a big dragon.
It looks lovely. Yeah,
is
well done.
bad, it's not going to stuff up
no,
anything for them.
no,
Oh,
it
that's good.
doesn't. No, that's not
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wow.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try it because
If you need it, if you
I
need
don't
help
understand it, and I'll do it,
if you need
and I'll
help,
see what it does.
yeah, if you need help counting your money this year, call me.
If I need help counting my money.
Oh no,
yeah,
people
okay.
who know him are going to be hitting them up for loans. They know he's going to be in the money.
People know me and they know I'm not a scab anyway. I just keep it all to myself. Heartless human being, worst
I
family
don't
member
know how
ever.
to say no.
It's my bloody year of money. It's my
What's your talent?
Talent
Talent makes money.
still make money. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You can sell ice to the Eskimos this year.
Awesome.
That's okay. This is wonderful, and I think
Would like
it's
a
showing our future
Shine.
sponsor, Shine Plus, get in
Brilliant.
touch.
Manifest-
It's interesting because I think there's going to be a lot of people that maybe are in the same, hopefully are in the same camp with me, in the sense that they're open to try something and then get the experience. So it works or it doesn't. I don't understand how it works. It seems like just drawing a symbol is just a symbol, but
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
discounting it that it doesn't. And I'm going to try it,
Yeah.
and I don't think it can hurt. And I think it's really interesting, and I think that there's really something to I think everybody knows when there's a certain feeling about a place or a part in the house or something like that. And that says to me that, you know, the depth that you go into of working that stuff out, there's something in that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's not as madness as it seems, but you wouldn't go into it that deeply if it was all madness, because you would have given up by now, because it's crazy.
Oh,
That
yeah.
obviously
so
works.
many
No,
clients,
I-
like,
So exciting.
All my
Yeah.
clients are word of mouth. I
Yeah.
don't
And so
actually.
when the workshops happen, and she said she holds like 40, 20
They're
or more
full
people
houses,
rock up.
yeah.
I
every
can't wait. This
time.
is amazing.
We hosted one this year for
Oh yeah,
her.
that was
So
beautiful.
there's one in this area, like, and so many people come, and so if it didn't work for all these people, they wouldn't keep coming back and
No,
spreading.
that's true actually.
So can we have in the show notes then Salwa's details, so people that want to get involved and
Sure.
maybe want to chart and want to see the other
Yes,
stuff that you
verbally
do.
tell us how we reach you.
Oh, so there's a webpage which is www.effortlessliving.com.au. You can go onto the webpage and see everything, because not everyone
Right.
wants to go on YouTube or LinkedIn. And really Facebook, they remove my stuff before it's even posted.
Because she says factual stuff about certain things that get
Well,
banned.
it actually started in 2020 when I said Kanye West cannot become president, and I showed why.
Oh, okay.
Because he was up.
It's
for-
astrology.
Yeah.
So they
was
removed,
great.
and that was it. Had to get another page. It still didn't work. They knew
So she
who I
keeps
was.
getting banned on
So,
Facebook.
like, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I posted on
does celebrities.
YouTube and LinkedIn, all four: Hanson, Cullerton, Bossy, and who's the other? Albanese. Why those four can never become prime ministers.
Sorry to
Oh,
disappoint.
wow. Oh, wow.
It's in their
I do
chart.
that.
Yeah. So
How
Why we can't get rid of our premier at the moment. So when
Sucks.
a football coach is in bad luck,
Yeah.
the team's in bad luck.
Okay.
Like Carlton.
So people send her questions all the time.
I'm
So
a Carlton supporter.
So am I, and
I'm a
I've
tragic-
gone there and told
Carlton
them. But
supporters, ew, go Collingwood.
Oh,
we haven't won
We're
since
We're gonna get-
anyway.
we're going to get taken off the air just for stating that we're Carlton Collingwood
So
supporters. I think
whoever
everyone's
runs
just switched off.
So
Sorry,
what I'm trying
sorry.
to say is whoever runs the state, if they're in bad luck, we're in bad luck. Who runs the country? If they're in bad luck, we're in bad
So why
luck.
can't we get rid
So
of
I
our
need
premier
to
right now?
Because it's a rock, it's Ayers Rock on Ayers Rock. How do you remove that?
Oh gosh.
Okay, there you go. I don't want to talk about premiers or prime ministers or
Yeah,
anything.
no,
That's
just,
just,
I was just
yeah.
wondering how elementally. What do you mean? Is
Yeah,
why
that
it's still
way.
here?
That's why
Because
it's still here.
It's in his chart. He's not going
There you
anywhere.
go.
And he's in
Sorry.
bad luck, meaning we suffer for it, but that's just the way
Oh,
it
because
is.
he's in bad luck. Because
Yeah.
he's in charge of this. Okay,
He's in charge.
that's how.
No,
it
because he slipped down the stairs and hurt his back.
Did he?
Is that got to do with the front door? That might have
No.
been Lindsay Fox's front door.
No.
Did he put a mirror at the front door?
Yeah,
He might have.
had a
Lindsay
mirror.
Fox.
He could have had
Lindsay's
a
using
mirror.
dark arts.
Thinking, Max.
Lindsay Fox is using the dark arts. I knew it. I
Lindsay
knew it.
Fox.
I knew it.
Good on him. Yeah, mirror,
Damn it,
mirror.
Lindsay.
I hope he gets sucked up the bloody.
No,
toilet.
give the man his beach. He deserves
Yeah.
it. All right. Well, that's excellent. So effortlessliving.com.au, you're going to find all of that information. And
Yeah.
Time
If you
flies.
don't want to go to that, you can just go on YouTube.
yep,
And is Salwa and Ministry. Just
Okay.
two words. And then that will show you, I think you subscribe or like it. And then the minute I get on and post something, people are alerted.
Yep, I jump on every week and listen to the water one.
Every
'cause that's
Sunday
me.
I do all the elements.
that's
and-
amazing.
Yeah, and she does one
So
for the
I
month
did the
every
month
as
already.
well.
I've already done the
Oh, I
month.
haven't watched that yet. Goodness,
Yeah.
gotta catch up.
And tomorrow I'll do a dance for what the month is.
It'll be,
so-
it'll be a bit of belly dancing. So
Or
you can
just
jump.
normal
Do you put-
dancing because I can
I like when you
dance.
put your belt on with all the.
I know,
chimes and
but it's
she-
in storage.
Oh damn it! All right, without
It's all right.
without
One of my sisters will have one.
I'm looking forward to a celebratory.
To ACDC, by the way.
Yes.
Great. So you can do a dance with bells to
I do the
ACDC.
dance appropriate to what the month is.
So
And
last-
over the
Oh, the
portal.
song will be. The song will be.
and the year
appropriate.
is yeah. So
So
Salva's excited
I
about
was
the year.
thinking,
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac's song and ACDC mixed together.
Beautiful.
Because
Be
it's going to be that kind of a year.
It's good. You heard it first.
Thunder always happens when it's raining, and it is water, rain, torrential,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
torrential flooding rain,
Mhm.
and ACDC's thunder.
Thunderstruck. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That just should tell everybody the kind of year.
Wow. Is that good?
Yeah,
It
you know
is.
what?
It just is.
It means everybody's reinventing
Shaking
themselves.
things up. That's exciting. I'm excited for the year. That's
Yeah.
great.
People should start writing journals or whatever, because at the end of the year they may publish that.
All right.
Okay.
That's water. Water's writing, calligraphy or normal. And
Get it
at
out,
the end,
let it
you'll
all-
be surprised, correct, what
Awesome.
happens.
Awesome.
Wonderful. I'm so excited.
So I can't believe how fast that was.
Why?
The
What
fastest
did you do?
podcast I feel like that went. Like
Oh,
we've been talking for ages, and it's been so interesting. Like
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I've learnt so much.
yes, it's been really interesting, and I'm sure so many people listening are going to be like, I have to know my animal and do I need a pig this year, and I want to get my house done, and holy crap, I've got to step out the center of my house so I can fix this portal and put some
Yeah.
salt water and
Yeah.
which is good because we want to, the more people that know,
the
better.
better you take care of your home, and that's only
Yeah.
a couple of remedies. So
Yeah.
imagine, try the 2 remedies.
Mm.
For you, go without the pig for a week and then
then-
see what happens.
because it takes
after.
24 hours of after you've got it to notice. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
won't know any different if you do, if you do
So
it straight away.
go without
wait-
it for a week and
I
see.
don't-
I'm loving it. I'm looking
Respect.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely worth getting a house done because besides just knowing the year and the month, there's a way your house is positioned. You might need salt water in other areas like I do at the moment. I've got
Yeah.
coins of salt water in other areas too, because it's just how my house is. So
And you
it's
only have
more-
to do it once, and then every
leave it
year,
there.
every month, you know what's going on.
I refresh
Okay.
it, every year
Yeah.
anyway, just when it changes. But yeah, so
Oh,
exciting.
good.
Great.
Well, knowledge is power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Salwa. It's
Oh,
been awesome.
I love it. I love
Honored to have
talking.
you here.
I'm so appreciative. It's been a beautiful chat.
Yes, and I've
Love
loved
it.
sharing
Thank
the
you.
space with
Thank you.
She's getting a new computer, so she
I know, I got to pick up my new computer.
and she doesn't have to come. But I like this. It's good to have
Yeah,
a
this
is
person
good.
next to me.
You don't have to worry about it, and if it zips out or zips in. And
Well, exactly. Well, I'm looking forward to us hopefully doing another chat again sometime, and we can maybe go over some of the things that we've just fleeted past, like what other entities and energy and stuff like that. Looking forward to going a deeper dive, maybe into a more focused area at some stage. And if anyone has questions, flick them back to this
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I
Comments,
love
comments.
questions.
Yep,
Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
That's it for another episode, but that doesn't have to be the end of the conversation.
Feel free to leave your comments on our YouTube channel, or for those podcast listeners, you can email us at mickandthepsychic@gmail.com to leave your feedback or questions.
I'm a certified hypnotherapist and timeline regression therapist. If you wish to contact me to explore the source of an issue you're facing, just book a session at hearnhypnosis.com.au and include the promo code MATP for 10% off. You can contact me on Insta and Facebook at hearnhypnosis.
Check out my website at optimisticxavier.com.au if you feel you'd like to connect with me as a psychic medium, spiritual mentor, or intuitive coach. Include the promo code MATP for 10% discount. You can also find me on Insta, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
We look forward to connecting with you again next time as we attempt to leave no stone unturned.
Bye.
All right, cool. I reckon that should be okay.